And we welcome you to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, joined along by our play-by-play announcer, Chad Fry. Tonight's ball game will feature the visiting team, the Derby Twins, versus the Newton Rebels. Well, Chad, we had a tough ball game last night as the Newton Rebels won 9-7 as they came back in the top half of the ninth inning and scored 4 runs as they were down 6-5 going into that ninth inning.
If memory serves, there was a 3-run dinger in that top of the ninth as well, right?
Yes, correct, by player of the game, A.J. Parcero. Did a great job. We're going to go through the standings real quick. Cheney is at 11-0. Hutchison is 5-1. Rose Hill 6-2. Great Bend is 6-4. The Newton Rebels are 4-6. Mulvane Patriots 4-7. The Hayesville Aviators are 2-5. The Derby Twins are 3-8, and the Sunflower Seeds are 1-9. So the last game of the series versus the Derby Twins. The Derby Twins won the first 2 games. The first one they won 11-1, and then the second one, I don't remember the score now for some reason. It was a close game.
It was a 1-run loss.
Okay, and then last night we won 9-7 in a great ball game. So tonight they're going to hopefully even up the series and split the series with the Derby Twins, and if they do, they'll take the record to 5-6 in the conference and 6-6 overall.
That is correct. And we've got quite a lineup going out there this evening for the Rebs. It's one that's been putting some runs on the board for us.
That's correct. We're going to go ahead and go through the starting lineups for you here this evening. I'll do the Derby Twins, and you want to do the Newton Rebels. For the Derby Twins, leading off and playing second base will be number 4, Cole Romero. Batting second, the third baseman will be number 8, Carson Prock. Batting third and playing first base will be number 5, Tyler DeLong. Batting fourth and DHing will be number 11, Brendan Van Brusingen. Batting fifth and playing right field will be number 7, Carson Shively. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 9, Cade Clemens. Batting seventh and playing center field will be number 12, Billy Rogers. Batting eighth and catching will be number 33, Gus Freeman. And batting ninth and playing left field will be number 30, Matt Aiken. And pitching for the Derby Twins will be number 3, Jake Bujamp. The head coach for the Derby Twins is Bill Shaw. And now, here's Chad.
Yeah, and your Newton Rebel starting lineup tonight, brought to you by Roofing Services Unlimited, is going to start with Jack Seacrest. He'll be playing third base today. Wearing number 1, batting number 2 will be Andrew Brotman, a customary spot. He'll be playing shortstop today. Batting third will be number 21, Lincoln Andrews. He'll be playing first base. Batting in the cleanup spot will be number 15, Hibiku Uchi, and he is catching today. Enzo the Boom Bone Ventre will be in the designated hitter's spot and batting sixth today. Number 5, Aaron Eshelman, will be batting in the 7th spot. Sorry, lost count. He'll be in the 6th spot. And he will be playing, I wrote that down wrong.
Third base.
Third base? Jack's playing second.
Yeah.
So there you go. A.J. Parcero, the big hero from yesterday, or one of them, he will be playing in left field, batting 7th. Eric Garza will be playing in right field, batting 8th. And Sam Cassane will be in center field, batting 9th. And on the bump, the former draftee, Zach Bravo. And we saw Bravo against these Twins just the other night. He had kind of a rough start to that outing before he settled in and started throwing some serious strikes.
Yeah, he came in and pitched about an inning and 2/3, and they did say that evening that he wanted to get at least one inning in. I think you knew that, Chad,
Yes.
and you called that. So once again, the Newton Rebels are going to try to even up the series here against the Derby Twins. Once again, they did win last night 9-7. And it was a great ball game. The Newton Rebels outscored and out-hit the Derby Twins. 9 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors. And the Derby Twins had 7 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. So let's hope that they can continue that going in the right direction here. And tomorrow evening, the Newton Rebels will have a makeup game at Hutchinson as they will go to Hutchinson and play the Hutchinson Monarchs.
Yes, that's correct. And also tomorrow there'll be, if you're a baseball nut, there'll be baseball in Centennial Park tomorrow with Newton Rec League games. But the game to be at is going to be that Hutch game. That's a big game for the Rebs. They really need to pick that one up if they can.
Also, we did want to tell you that we did apologize about yesterday. We just, everything was working, and all of a sudden it quit showing the video. And so we were all able to do was just the audio and the camera towards us. Now, we did have somebody say, well, why don't you just turn the camera around out to the field? Well, I wish it would have been that simple. Our camera that we had was up about 6 feet up in the air above everybody sitting in front of us. Our table, if we would have turned the computer around, would have been right in the back of all the fans that were sitting there. So there's no way, unless we would have stood up and just held it up in the air like this, that we were going to be able to get the field. So that's why we decided to do it that way. And we apologize about not being able to see the game, but we hope you did enjoy the audio on it. We're going to pause for our national anthem, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball.
And a beautiful day for baseball it is.
It sure is. Well, Zach Bravo will be on the mound for the Newton Rebels here, Chad. And last outing that he had, not the one where he came in on the last inning, but the last starting outing that he had, he ended up striking out 10 batters. So let's hope that that's the kind of performance we get out of Zach Bravo here this evening.
That would be nice. Game time temperature is going to be 88 degrees. We've got winds gusting up to about 24, 25 miles an hour. They're blowing in a little bit, but mostly from right to left field. So that's a pitcher's advantage right there.
And don't forget to tell everybody about YouTube, the Newton KS Rebels channel, so they can watch all the action from home if they can't be here at the ballpark. So let your family and friends know about the Newton Rebels baseball. Defensively for the Rebels at first base will be number 21, Andrews. Second baseman, number 2, Sigris. Shortstop, number 1, Brotman. At third base, number 5, Eshelman. Left fielder, number 4, Parceros. Center fielder number 14, Kassane. Left fielder number 4, right fielder number 9, Garza. Catching will be number 15, Uchi. And pitching for the Newton Rebels, number 28, Zach Bravo. And here's your play-by-play announcer, Chad Fry.
Cole Romero coming to the plate to start things off for the Derby Twins. He'll face Bravo to get this game underway. Romero playing second base today.
Cole Romero is a 5'11", 185-pounder. Says he's from Scott, Louisiana.
So Bravo will deliver. It'll stay just a little bit high, just above the elbow, and it'll be inside, and that'll go to 1-0, your count. Bravo working quickly, as he tends to do when there's nobody on. Foul ball down the first base side, well out of play, and that will even the count at 1s.
Romero comes in batting .375 as he's appeared in 8 ball games, been up to bat 32 times, and has 12 hits.
And he'll drop this one into right field for the first hit of the ball game.
Great job there by Romero as he just stuck that bat out and sent it into right field.
Saw the pitch he wanted, and he went and hit it. That's what I was trying to teach my son a little bit today in the batting cage this morning. Go find your pitch and go hit it, rather than swinging at everything like a rusty gate. Carson Prock now coming to the plate. He's playing third base today. Throw to first will not be in time. Bravo pats his chest as that throw was a little low and kind of tough to handle for Lincoln Andrews. Bravo will check the runner. Now most likely come home. Framed well, but it'll stay just a little too tall and a little too outside, and ball 1 to Prock, 1-0.
Prock is a 6 foot, 175-pounder from Wichita, Kansas.
Bravo will step off. Take a look at first. 1-0 the count. Bravo checks first again. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Snap throw down to first was a little high, and the tag not applied. It'll be 1-1 now as Romero gets back to first and Prock is at the plate. Right down the pipe, but it's 2-1. Not sure what was wrong with that pitch. I'd tell you if I knew.
One thing I can say, it might have been just a tad low.
Maybe. Throw to first, not in time.
And we can see a difference in the game already, Chad, from the first time that they played them. I think Derby had 6 steals on them, and you see the pitchers going to first base holding them on when they get somebody on.
Bravo coming home. Another one right down the pipe, apparently just a little low, and the count goes to 3-1. Fouls it back to the screen as he went after the fastball, and the count will go full. So full count and unaway runner at first. Bravo will take a look over his shoulder. He'll come set, working from that position, and it'll be fouled away. Foul on the first base side, out of play. And will stay at full count. Full count yet again. Here comes Bravo. Pitch goes in the dirt, and that'll be a walk. And there are 2 base runners aboard now for first baseman Tyler DeLong.
Tyler DeLong's a 6'4", 190-pounder from Hera, Oklahoma.
You would recall he's the pitcher who slammed the doors shut on the Rebels in that one-run loss the other night.
Yes, and then when they brought him in last night, we were afraid of him because he did shut us down the game before, but the Newton Rebels got him for 4 runs in the top half of the 9th inning. So what a day a difference makes.
Swing and a miss by DeLong to open the at-bat. It'll be 0-1. Bravo will go to second. Good throw. Got him. Picked him off. Nice move to second. And there's one away.
And a good tag there by Brotman.
0-1 count now with one away and a runner at first. Swing and a miss, and we'll go to 0-2. Checks the runner again, and now he'll come home. That'll be a wild pitch that will advance Proct to second. It's amazing how much your situations change so quickly in this game. Just a pitch ago, we were looking at a double play to get out of the inning. Now we're looking at a runner in scoring position and one away. 1-2 the count. Called third strike on the outside corner, and DeLong knew it. I have a lot of respect for a batter that does what he just did. He just kind of looked down and walked away. Brennan Van Brusingen now coming to the plate. He's the designated hitter of the evening for the Twins. 2 away, a runner at second. Bravo takes a long look at second, then comes home, swing and a miss. 0-1 your count. Nobody covering at second as he takes a quick look at Proct. Bravo comes home. Pitch is well above the hands, and that'll be 1-1. Pitch is upstairs and inside. Little chin music. 2-1 now on Van Brusingen. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike 2. 2-2 count, 2 away. Fouls this one back towards the screen. That was inside, and he chased it. Wasn't able to do anything with it. And we'll be at 2-2 yet again. Bravo will step off. And 2-2 your count. Bravo goes with a breaking ball to the outside, but it goes too far outside, and now we'll have full count with 2 away and a runner at second. Pitch goes in the dirt. Nobody going anywhere. And second walk of the inning issued by Bravo. Carson Shively now coming to the plate. He's playing right field today. He has runners at first and second. Swing and a miss for Shively. And it's strike one.
Nice pitch there by Bravo as he tried to hit that outside corner, made that batter swing at that outside pitch.
Throw to second is just a little off. That'll hopefully keep Proct honest over there at second base. He's coming home, goes after the outside corner, gets it, called strike. Thigh high on the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. Swing and a miss. And that's second strikeout of the inning. That strikeout brought to you by Shamrock Car Wash. And that is Zach Bravo getting out of the inning. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a hit. No runs given up. We'll head to the bottom of the first. This game's still knotted at zeros. Due up for the Rebels, Jack Sechrist, Andrew Brotman, and Lincoln Andrews. Coming out to work the first, starter Jake Beauchamp for the Twins.
Defense lead for the Derby Twins at first base will be number 5, DeLong. Second baseman will be number 4, Romero. At shortstop, number 9, Clemens. Third baseman, number 8, Prott. Left fielder will be number 30, Akins. Center fielder, number 12, Rogers. Right fielder, number 7, Shively. Catching, number 33, Freeman. And pitching for the Derby Twins will be number 3, Jake Beauchamp. Well, Bravo got out of that inning well, Chad.
Yes, he did. It was. I'm a bit concerned about the pair of walks in the wild pitch, but overall, you've got to like what he pulled. 2 strikeouts, and he picked the guy off at second. So, in one way or another, Bravo was responsible for all 3 outs
all
in that inning.
Outs. Exactly right.
So Jack Sechrist will open for the Rebs here. He's playing second base today, despite what I wrote down on my scorecard earlier. I got my copies made, got my real scorecard now, so yeah, that ought to help life somewhat. Sechrist to lead things off here as he faces Beauchamp for the first time today. He's been batting in that leadoff spot pretty much all season.
Sechrist comes in batting .333.
Takes ball 1 as that pitch just misses the zone with a shade on the outside. That one right on the knees and down the middle. Beautiful pitch right there, and it's 1-1. Caught the outside corner with a bell tiebreaker, and the count is 1-2. Fouls it back off the helmet of Gus Freeman. And I know he's wearing a helmet, but that's never comfortable. 1-2 the count now to Jack Sechrist. Fouls one back again. Staying alive right now. Count is 1-2. Breaking ball doesn't break hard enough to get in the zone. And the count will go to 2-2.
Well, Chad, that wind has not stopped from last night. We had our broadcast, the wind was really picked up last night, and it's still going.
It is Kansas. Here is a single just out of reach of second base. Paul Romero just was not able to get anywhere close to that ball. And it'll dribble into right field. And the Rebels have the leadoff man aboard with Andrew Brotman coming to the plate. Brotman playing shortstop today.
And Segrist picks up his 15th hit of the season.
Brotman will take one right down the middle that's low, and the count will go to 1-0.
Brotman comes in batting .295 as he's appeared in 11 ball games, been up to about 44 times, and has 13 hits. Also has scored 7 runs.
1-0 now to Brotman. The runner at first is Seacrest. He's going with the pitch. The hit and run was on. There was no hit, but there is a run. And it's a stolen base for Seacrest as he's able to get in there under the tag and throw. So the count will go to 1-1 on Andrew Brotman after the swing and a miss.
Chad, I think they just called interference by Brotman, and I believe they're going to send Segrist back to first base. He just called Brotman out.
Well, I'll be honest, I didn't see what happened at the plate other than the fact that he swung at the ball.
The umpire pointed at Brotman and gave the out sign, and then he told the second baseman Segrist that was standing at second base to go back to first.
Wow. I haven't seen that call in years. Lincoln Andrews now coming to the plate. One away, runner at first. First pitch to the lefty will tail well out of the zone, and it'll be 1-0 now to Lincoln Andrews.
Andrews comes in batting .268. He's appeared in 11 ball games, been up about 41 times, and has 11 hits.
Working the outside half of the plate and missing yet again. It's 2-0. Step out and reset here at 2-0. Seacrest at first with one away. Andrews thought about pulling the trigger but lets it go by. Count goes to 2-1 as that catches his knee right on the outside corner. Pitch in the dirt. That will skitter away from Gus Freeman, but Seacrest staying at first, and the count goes to 3-1. Swing and a miss for Lincoln Andrews, and the count goes to full. Full count to Lincoln Andrews. And swing and a miss. There's 2 away. First strike out of the game for Buchan. Hibiki Uchi now coming to the plate. He's playing catcher today, and he's Mr. Hustle. We'll see what he has in store today. 2 away, runner at first. Swing and a miss. Snap throw to first, not in time.
And Chad, I was looking at Uchi's scorecard here. They show he's showing batting .235, has been in 7 ball games. Been up to bat 17 times, and only has 4 hits. But he actually has 6 hits. There's 2 hits that have not been credited to him.
Strike call, and we go to 1-2 on the count. That was a breaking ball that caught the outside corner. That was low. That's the explanation I'll give, because we gave it in the top half of the inning for a couple of pitches for Bravo that looked just like that. And the count goes to 2-2. Camp will step off. And reset. 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner at first. Called third strike on the outside corner. So it's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left. And we'll head to the top of the second. This game tied at 0s. Take a moment here to thank Dr. Brett Roofs, major sponsor of Newton Rebels baseball. Also thank Ray Roofing Incorporated as a major sponsor of Newton Rebels baseball, along with Boston Insurance and Realty Connections. Bravo coming back out to work the second. So far he's worked 1 inning, given up a hit, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Due up for the Derby Twins will be Cade Clemens, Billy Rogers, Gus Freeman, and if we get that far, the number 9 man, Matt Aiken. And the bottom half of the lineup's coming up here, but that's no consolation with these Derby Twins.
Now, 2 games ago, the bottom half of the lineup is the one that did most damage here in Newton. So we know that they are dangerous. They're just a good hitting ball team.
There was a streak there for a couple of innings that Clemens, Rogers, Freeman group was like 6 for 6. So yeah, that was pretty rough. So here comes Cade Clemens to start things off for the Twins here in the second.
Clemens comes in batting .171 as he's appeared in 10 ball games, been up the bat 41 times, has 7 hits, and has scored 6 runs.
Bravo will open the at-bat with an induced swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Bravo again goes back to working quickly. He likes to do that when there's nobody on. Swing and a miss after that high and tight fastball. The count goes to 1-2.
I'd say old Bravo's kind of feeling it tonight. He's got a little hop on his step there.
Pops him up into shallow right. Garza will camp underneath it and make the play. Billy Rogers now coming to the plate for the Twins. He's playing center field today. Fouls this one down to third base side.
Rogers looking for his second hit of the season as he's been up the bat 12 times.
Fly ball out to left. That's going to get over the head of A.J. Parcero, and that'll end up being a double for Billy Rogers. Parcero got his body twisted around out there and just wasn't able to get a play on the ball.
Almost like he didn't pick it up, and by the time he didn't have his steps in his right place and went over his head.
Gus Freeman now, the catcher, coming to the plate. Swing and a miss. That's strike one. 0-1 your count.
Freeman coming in batting .333. He's been up the bat 18 times and has 6 hits.
Swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2. There's a runner in scoring position right now with Rogers standing at second. Pitch is low and away, and count will go to 1-2. Bravo was hoping to get him to chase with the 2 strikes, but that was unsuccessful, and Freeman will see another pitch right here. That'll be dumped into shallow left field, and the bottom half of this order is again being productive. And that'll be an RBI single for Gus Freeman.
Now batting for the Twins, the left fielder, number 30, Matt Aiken.
Third hit of the game, surrendered by Bravo. Matt Aiken, the number 9 man, coming to the plate. He's got a runner at first with 1 away. Ground ball will go into right field.
Well, those baseballs are just finding the gap tonight, aren't they?
I'm starting to wonder if he doesn't have his lineup flip-flopped. The bottom half of this lineup is just ridiculously productive. Cole Romero now coming to the plate. He singled in his last at-bat, that coming in the last inning. He was the man picked off at second. Right back up the gut at Bravo, who will make the play at first. He was adventurous, but he was able to get it done. Runners will advance to second and third on the fielder's choice. And Carson Prock now coming to the plate. He drew a walk in the first.
Well, Bravo did a good job in staying in front of that. That hit his glove and went all the way up to his throat area. But he was able to chase it down and throw that to first base for the out.
Rebs trail by a run right now, but there's runners at second and third. Pitch comes well inside. And count is 1-0. Fouls it back to the screen. 1-1 will be the count. Runners at second and third. Called strike, breaking ball on the outside half, thigh high, and count goes to 1-2. Swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout, sponsored by Roofing Services Unlimited. And that is strikeout number 3 of the ball game for Zach Bravo. However, the damage done, 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 2 runners were left. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Your Rebs down by 1.
And Chad, Zach Bravo came in leading the league in strikeouts with 19. So he has 3 today. So he's got 22 down.
22. Very nice. It's a nice total. Jake Buchamp is back on the bump for the Twins here in the second. Due up for your Rebels, Enzo Bonventre, Aaron Eshelman, and A.J. Parcero. I'd love to see Parcero get in that batter's box and make amends for the misplayed ball out there in left field.
Yeah, well, you know, Parcero is basically a catcher, but I think Coach was trying to get his bat in there, and he just misplayed that, and of course the ball was hit hard and just didn't have a chance to get to it.
And those catchers need an opportunity to stretch those legs and limber up. That's a hard life behind the plate.
Yes, I happen to know that. I used to be a catcher for a fast pitch team out of the Wichita. They're called the Wichita Aztecas. Played for about 17 years.
I did a number of years behind the plate as an umpire. You don't even get the break that the catchers get when you do that. And it's hard on the body.
Yes, it is.
Both those positions are probably the toughest on the body in all of baseball. So here comes Enzo the Boom Bonventre, designated hitter this evening. He'll lead things off for the Rebs in the second. Ball 1, it will be issued. A little high, a little inside, and count will be 1-0. Ground ball will dribble into left field, and that's what we talked about with him a lot last year, in becoming a much more complete hitter and finding ways to get the ball in play and do some wonderful things. When he came to us, he had a reputation as a home run hitter. Aaron Eshelman now coming to the plate, playing third base today.
Well, if you remember, Chad, last year Bonventre hit for the cycle.
Yes, he did. He had a game where he did that. That was one of the fun things to see last year. And my memory's not infallible, but I do remember him running down the third base line with one fist in the air that night. He was pretty happy. Ball 1 to Eshelman. And he will dig in again. He's got a runner at first. Quick look over the shoulder by Buchamp, and he'll be coming home. Lays down a bunt. That'll go right back to the pitcher. But the throw is off. Pulled him off the bag. Infield single for Eshelman. And A.J. Parcero now coming to the plate. They're going to give him an error there.
Yeah, I think actually Eshelman gets a fielder's choice, and the error goes to the pitcher.
Yep. So Bonventre advances on the error. And A.J. Parcero now coming to the plate. Runners at first and second. None away. We just need to get somebody moving. We're showing bunt again. Not the greatest bunt attempt, but it was more self-defense than anything, as
I-
that was well inside.
I think he was just trying to get out of the way, to be honest with you.
That was a please don't let this ball hit my face, and we are 0-1 in the count.
Parcero comes in batting .538 as he's appeared in 4 ball games, has been up to bat 13 times, and has 7 hits. And now 4 RBIs as he had 3 of them last night. That home run.
Very nice night for him last night. Shows bunt again. This time he'll pull it back. They were charging from first really hard. That Tyler DeLong coming hard.
Yeah, last night Parcero was 3 for 5. Scored 1 run, and he had those 4 RBIs, but he did strike out twice. So a great night. Matter of fact, he was our player of the game last night, Chad.
And they've pulled the infield in now, and count goes to 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
And with that, the infield moves back.
Yes, they would. So now the question is, how much faith do you have in his bunting ability? Because you could lay it down again right here, even with 2 strikes. But we'll see what Coach Clark has decided. And Clark decides to have him swing away. He's going to foul this one back towards the screen, and a big play is attempted by Gus Freeman. He got to the ball but wasn't able to squeeze it as he kind of dove towards and collided with the fence.
Well, Freeman had a chance at that. He just didn't get a good jump on it. I think he thought that the ball was going to be out of play, and once he saw that it was going to be in play, he hustled for it, gave a great effort, but just was not able to get to it.
That's exactly right. So we stay at 1-2 on A.J. Parcero. Time called at the plate. He thought he had that one. That was a breaking ball, but it tails low, and 2-2.
I actually thought he had that one too.
There's been a number of pitches that have looked very familiar to that position that I've thought have been strikes, but apparently have been low. So, and that's gone in against both pitchers in this ball game. 2-2 the count. Pops him up on the infield. That should be infield fly. Will be caught by Proct coming in from third. Eric Garza, the right fielder, now coming to the plate. There's one away with runners at first and second. If you're the Rebels, you're wanting some kind of a hit to the outfield, preferably that touches the dirt so that we can get a run across.
Garza looking for his second hit of the season, as he's been up the bat 13 times, has 1 hit, and has scored 2 runs.
Breaking ball called strike. Excellent pitch. Also an excellent take. 0-1 the count now with runners at first and second. Breaking ball again, this one inside, but called a strike, and it's 0-2. Nice big hole between second and third. They're not really playing double play depth right now. Swing and a miss. And that'll be a strikeout. 3rd strikeout of the game for Beauchamp. Sam Cassane, the center fielder, now coming to the plate. He making his first appearance tonight. He's got runners at first and second now with 2 away.
And Cassane comes in batting .222. He's appeared in 2 ball games, has been up the bat 9 times, and has 2 hits.
This will be a nice time for his 3rd. Takes a called strike on the outside corner. Sane steps in and he is ready. Ground ball down the first base side will go foul. Well foul. And that'll be an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout of the game for Bucamp. And the Rebels will be retired with no runs on one hit, one error, 2 runners left. Let's hope that doesn't haunt us later, getting those runners in scoring position but not being able to move them.
Yeah, that's been a problem a couple of the games for the Newton Rebels, as they had runners at second and third a couple times with 1 out and once with 2 outs, and we're not able to get them across. When you got base runners on, or ducks on the pond like they call it, you got to get them in.
Yes, you do.
And this time it cost us. We're not able to advance the runners in scoring position.
They can't hear you very good on the broadcast. Can you turn it up?
It's already at max. Everything's turned up as high as it can go.
There we go. I gave us just a little bit of a boost there.
That's about all we got. Zach Bravo coming back out on the mound to work the third. Tyler DeLong, Brennan Van Brusigen, and Carson Shively due up for your Twins, or the visiting Twins, as I should say.
First baseman, number 5, Tyler DeLong.
DeLong comes in batting .316.
Pitch is well upstairs to DeLong. Count goes to 1-0. Swing and a miss. That'll even the count at 1-1. Bravo is ready. Comes upstairs, too far upstairs. The count goes to 2-1. There's another one of those. Like I said, it's both pitchers that have been victim to that one. 3-1. Swing and a miss. We'll set it at full. And that one comes inside. And DeLong is aboard with the free pass. Brennan Van Brusigen, the designated hitter, now coming to the plate. He walked in his first appearance in this ball game, that coming in the first inning.
That's the third walk given up by Bravo, and that's kind of unusual for Zach.
Well, there's a sweet spot pitch that every pitcher wants that both pitchers are throwing, and they're not getting.
Yeah, I have to agree.
I'm just going to call it for what it is. It's both pitchers are not getting that pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
Every time you guys hit this, from end to end, it jiggles this.
0-1 to count now. Checks first. Comes set. Comes home. Shows bunt, pulls it back, snap throw to first. A little offline and a little behind the runner. Ball one issued. 2-1 count now. Bravo coming home. The bunt is shown. He pulls it back. Count goes to 2-1 as he just misses down low. Shows bunt, pulls it back. It'll be called a strike on the inside half of the plate. And the count will go to 2-2. Bravo will miss low and away, and the count will go to full. And this will come inside and a bit low, and that's back-to-back walks issued by Zach Bravo.
Now batting for the Twins, the right fielder, number 7, Carson
Carson
Shively.
Shively, right fielder, now coming to the plate. He was a strikeout victim in the first inning. There's none away, runners at first and second. He shows bunt, and he pops it back foul.
Make sure you bring that foul ball to the interstate for some free candy. Okay. Go get it, Kevin. I'm going to go get it. Give me some airhead. It's going to gear. I don't think we have any airhead.
0-1 the count now. Shively will put the bunt down. It goes to Bravo off his glove, and he can't get a handle on it. And now the bases are loaded.
Shortstop, number 9, Cade Clemens.
Cade Clemens now coming to the plate. Flew out in his last at bat. There's none away. Bases jammed. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
Now both teams have an error, and both teams have an error on the pitcher.
Yeah. How do you like that action? Ground ball towards, thrown home for the force out. So they get the force out at home.
Now batting for the Twins, center fielder, number 12, Billy Rogers.
And there's bases loaded with Billy Rogers coming to the plate and one away. As Tyler DeLong, the runner out at home on the force out. Van Brusiken heads to third. Shively's at second, and Clemens at first after the fielder's choice. Breaking ball caught him looking, and count goes to 0-1. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2. Pitch is well outside. Didn't quite have a handle on that ball when he threw it.
This would be a great time for strikeout number 23 of the season.
Yes, it would. 1-2 the count. One away, bases jammed. And that's a strikeout. Foul tick ends up in the glove.
Now batting for the Twins, the catcher, number 33, Gus Freeman.
Fourth strikeout of the game by Bravo. And now Gus Freeman coming to the plate. Had an RBI single in the second. Ball one issued by Zach Bravo. Strike called right down the middle. That body language, that tells me that Freeman is going, why did I not swing at that?
Yep.
And that's a good question. Breaking ball in his eyes. It's easy to see why he didn't swing at that. 2-1. Run will score. That is an interference. That's interference. He needs to be called out.
Yep, he should be called out
He
there at
needs
home
to
plate.
be called out for interference. He interfered with the throw back to the pitcher.
Catcher Uchi grabbed the ball and threw it to Bravo at home plate, and as the runner, Van Brusingen, crossed home plate, he grabbed the ball up in the air.
He grabbed that ball. He is out. I am sorry. That is an interference. They cannot allow for any of these other runners to advance.
Well, just like when the batter interfered at home plate with the
Exactly
throw,
right. Exactly right.
he was called out, and that's exactly what should happen here.
As a base runner, you can't interfere with the throw, especially intentionally.
Yeah, well, he just went up there and reached out and grabbed that. That was right at home plate.
That is absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. They're not going to do anything.
I think they just must have called it a dead ball after he.
But the ball
Touched the
isn't
ball.
dead. The ball is not dead until it's returned to the pitcher.
I would like to hear the explanation to
I
Coach
would
Clark.
love to hear the explanation of this one. Because he flat out intentionally interfered with that throw.
So it looks like another run scores for Derby.
First pitch to Gus Freeman is fouled back to the screen. And we shouldn't even be pitching right now.
Oh, what a great catch.
Plucked right out of the air. Nice play at third.
Great catch there by Aaron Eshelman at third base as he snagged that up in the air.
1 run scores on 1 error because I can't charge one to the umpire. 2 runners were left. No hits in the inning. We'll head to the top of 3. Rebs down by 2. Top of the order will be coming up, and Jake Bouchamp coming out to the mound.
And we'll be right back.
So the Rebels top of the order coming up here in the third. Jack Sechrist to lead things off. He had a single in his last appearance, that coming in the first inning. Pitch is upstairs, and it'll be 1-0. Pitch goes down in the dirt, and it'll be 2-1. Pitch is low and away, and the count will be 3-1. No, not in COVID-19. I'm not sitting on anybody's lap.
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that.
Not to mention my wife will kill me. She thinks I should be wearing a mask during these games. And that'll be a walk for Jack Sechrist. Andrew Brotman coming to the plate. He was called out on a batter interference in the first.
For stepping across home plate as the catcher was throwing down to second base.
Wow.
Which was...
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Anyway, I'm just going to have to get over it. Andrew Brotman, 0 for 1 in this ball game. He's got a runner at first and none away. Shows bunt, puts it down. It's going to roll towards the pitcher. The throw will be 1-3. Executed well by the Twins, but also executed well by Brotman, as that will put Sechrist at second base. Lincoln Andrews now coming to the plate. Struck out in his first appearance in this ball game.
That's something that we needed in the second inning with the runners at first and second and not able to move them over. A great bunt there by Brotman. Sacrifice, that is.
Fouled back to the screen in the first offering, and now Andrews is down in the count 0-1. Pitch is in the dirt, but Sechrist not going anywhere. Andrews evens the count at 1-1. Count is 2-1. That pitch must have been a little inside, and that'll go to 2-1. Fouls this one down towards the batting cage. Sets the count at 2-2. Just above the hands, and the count will go to full.
And I noticed the pitcher hat keeps falling off. He either needs to get a haircut or he needs to get a tighter hat.
Yeah, something.
Seems like every time he pitches, the hat comes off. Of course, it could be that wind also.
It is kicking around 25 miles an hour today.
Oh, that's a hard hit ball.
Hard hit ball into right. That wind is going to hold it up, and it's going to drop and hit the wall. A run should score here, and he's going to coast towards third and be in there with a triple.
Now batting for the Rebels, the catcher, number 15, hit 50.
So that's an RBI for Lincoln Andrews.
Now takes the score, what, 2-1 now? Favor of Derby.
Yes, sir. That was a well-hit ball. On some days, that probably would have been a dinger, but he hit that right into the brunt of that wind. Hibiki Uchi now coming to the plate. He struck out in the first. He stands there at the plate with one away and a runner at third, and the hat goes flying again. Swing and a miss by Uchi. I think he got a piece of that, and the count will go to 0-1.
One thing I do notice about Uchi, he does put the bat on the ball practically every single time.
He's a great contact hitter, and he's got lots of hustle, and that can go a long, long way in this game. See what I mean? There's some more contact. This one fouled. Well out of play on the first base side, and the count goes to 0-2.
I'm sorry, I was laughing because the hat fell off again.
Yeah, 1-2 as pitch goes in the dirt. Pitch is fouled away. That'll go into the bullpen for the visitors, and we stay at 1-2. Fouls it away. Count is still 1-2.
Beauchamp trying to hit them that outside corner, and Uchi doing a great job of making contact.
Line shot, it goes right to second base. He'll make the flip. 4-3 if you're scoring at home. Cole Romero making that play. And here comes Enzo Bonventre. He had a single in his last appearance, that coming in the second inning. He is 1 for 1 today. He reached second on an error, and they weren't able to get him any further. 2 away now, with the tying run standing 90 feet away. He'll lay off the high fastball, and the count will go 1-0.
There it is. That's gone.
Put a stewardess on that ball. It's gone. Well over the Harvey Drug sign. And that's a 2-run shot.
That is the 4th home run by Enzo Bonventre this season.
Here comes the boo.
And your Rebs now have a 3-2 lead. And that's going to bring the walk to the mound. They want to have a meeting.
Chad, sometimes I feel like I'm walking on you, but when I see something like that, I knew right away that thing was going to be gone. It was well struck, just like he got this first base hit in the second inning to past the shortstop. He really made solid contact and drove it well in the gap. between short and third, and then that one there, as soon as it just sounded like it was going to be gone.
I lost it in the sky.
I thought you might have, so that's why
I had no idea.
kept talking there.
I was looking for the outfielders to see what they were doing, and they were really uncommittal. So
no, they just kind of stood there. They knew it was gone as soon as he hit it.
yes, sir.
Now batting for the Rebels, the third baseman, number 5, Aaron.
That one might have even made it into the neighboring wheat field. I don't know. Aaron Eshelman now coming to the plate. There's 2 down, and the Rebs have scored 3. He's going to step off.
Oh,
they now have somebody warming up. He went out to warm up while the conference began on the mound. There goes that hat again. 1-0 as the pitch is in the dirt. One and 0. Just caught the front knee on the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. Grounder right back up the middle. Will be fielded by Bucamp. And that will retire the side. But the Rebs do the damage they need to do. 3 runs on 1, 2 hits. And the 2 hits were big ones. One was a triple and one was a dinger. No errors charged and nobody left. We head to the top of 4. Rebs up 3-2. Want to thank our major sponsor of the evening, Roofing Services Unlimited, operated by Brent Kaufman. And to me, the Hall of Famer, Brent Kaufman in the Newton High School Athletic Hall of Fame for his exploits in cross country. Zach Bravo coming out to work the 4th for the Rebels. And due up for the Twins are the 9-1-2 hitters, Matt Aiken, Cole Romero, and Carson Prock.
And Chad, I know you're going to go to the sponsors, but I did want to thank Pouch Enterprise. Kevin Pouch running our camera here this evening, and we do appreciate it very much.
So Rebels have made it a third of the way through this ball game, and they found a way to get a 1-run lead.
And the thing I like about the Newton Rebels right now is even though they get down, they got a way to come back, and they've done that the last 3 games. 2 games ago, they were down 7-2 and came back and tied the game up. And then last night they were down and were able to come back, and especially in the 9th inning there when they were down 1.
Strike called on the first offering from Bravo to Aiken. And yeah, the Rebs have been showing some heart as of late, and that's something that we've all seen teams missing in the summers. You know, whether it's, well, straight up, whether it's the Rebs of past years or, heck, the Monarchs of past years, somebody. We've all seen teams that have lacked that. Pops him up into right field. That will be camped underneath and caught by Eric Garza.
Now batting for the Twins, number 4, Cole Romero.
Cole Romero now coming to the plate. He is 1 for 2 in this ball game. He opened this game up with a single. Strike call on a breaking ball, and the count goes to 0-1. Check swing. And they correctly say he didn't go, and that's 1-1. Pitch is upstairs, and we go to 2-1. There's that pitch again. Apparently too low, and it's 3-1. That comes inside. And he'll be aboard. Carson Proct now coming to the plate. He is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Throw to first, not in time.
That's the guy that you want to keep close. Like I said, he had 3 stolen bases the first time that they faced the Newton Rebels.
Throw to first, not in time. Still waiting the first official pitch of the at-bat to Carson Proct.
There he goes.
Throw to second. He got in under the tag. The throw was there, but the tag was not. Stolen base. Pitch was outside, and we'll go to 1-0. Bravo staying outside. This one outside and low, and we go to 2-0. Ground ball towards third will be grabbed. Throw to first will be off the bag and into the dugouts. Out of play. That'll put runners at second and third.
Second error by the Newton Rebels.
Eshelman just misfired that ball all the way. Just trying to make a throw on the run. So Proct will be at second and Romero will be at third. Tyler DeLong now coming to the plate. DeLong is 0 for 1. He struck out in the first. However, in the third, he did walk. Swing and a miss. Fouls it down the third base side, and the count will go to 0-2. Ground ball towards second. The throw will be made. The ball game will be tied as Romero will come home on the fielder's choice. And Proct will head to third as he's wearing number 4, he's not playing for. Jack Seacrest makes the throw over to first. And Brennan Van Bruzingen now coming to the plate. He has walked in his previous 2 appearances. Called strike to open the at-bat. 0-1 the count.
Score now tied up at 3 apiece. Twins again do what they need to do once they get runners in scoring position.
Yes, they do. Pitch is low and away, and the count goes to 1-1. Again, there's 2 away and a runner at third. And the count will run to 1-2. Fouled away. Count stays at 1-2 as it goes to the parking lot.
And I'm glad I parked that way instead.
Yeah, I used that new parking lot just off of Kansas Avenue just for that very reason. It's a longer walk, but there's nothing going to get to my vehicle. Pitch is in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-2.
Good job there by Uchi to stay down on that ball, to stay in front of it.
That's critical with a runner at third. Swing and a miss. And that will retire the side, but a run will score on one error. There were no hits surrendered in that inning. And a runner will be left. We'll head to the bottom of 4. This game tied at 3 apiece. Due up for your Rebels will be A.J. Parcero, Eric Garza, and Sam Cassane.
I'm going to let you have it here for 1 inning. I need to take a small break, so I'll be right back.
Take your break, Frank. And Jake Beauchamp back out to work this 4th inning for the Twins. And he has struck out 2 of the 3 next batters he will face.
Now batting for the Rebels, left fielder, number 4, A.J. Parcero.
Parcero will come to the plate to open things up for the Rebels here in the 4th. Ball is upstairs to Parcero to open the at-bat, and it'll be 1-0. Swing and a miss for Parcero. Actually got a piece of that according to the home plate umpire. And the count goes to 1-1. And I think he wants to switch balls out. So not exactly sure what all of those conferences were for, but I know he checked the baseball after the foul tick. And it's 1-1 now on Parcero. Foul ball down the first base side. We'll roll to the warning track out there in right field. Foul territory. Count is 1-2. Pitch in the dirt. Well played by Freeman. And the count is 2-2. There is action in the Twins bullpen right now. And that one kicks up some dust as well. And the count will go to full. Full count now on Parcero. And he draws the walk.
Now batting for the Rebels, your right fielder, number 9, Eric Garza.
Eric Garza now coming to the plate. He was a strikeout victim in the second inning. That his only appearance in the ball game, and time is going to be called, and we're going to have a call to the pen.
Yeah, I couldn't see exactly who that was.
Well, we're going to be finding out here soon enough.
I thought it was number 16, but they don't have a 16 listed, so.
So Beauchamp will sit down with 3 innings pitched, facing 1 in the 4th. And he gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4.
Not sure, but I believe it's number 22. If that is, that's Clymer. I thought he pitched the other night. Actually,
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought he started.
That's very possible. You know, we're playing a lot of baseball games in a very short amount of time. Guys are going to have to be going on short rests.
It is a left-handed, it's 26,
26.
I'm sorry, okay. That's kind of why I wasn't sure about that. That's Tyler Farmer. Tyler Farmer is a left-handed thrower, 5'10", 170-pounder from Derby, Kansas.
And as Farmer warms up, I am going to stretch my legs a bit. Take care of myself a little. Be right back.
And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. A.J. Parcero is standing on at first base as Tyler Farmer is now your pitcher for the Derby Twins. Up is right fielder number 9, Eric Garza. Garza struck out his first time at the plate in the second inning. He made the second out. Garza attempts a bunt and pulls back as that one was outside for ball 1. So 1-0 now the count to Garza. We are all tied up at 3 apiece as we are in the bottom half of the 4th inning here in Newton, Kansas. This is the 4th game of the 4-game series between the Derby Twins and the Newton Rebels. That one missing high for ball 2. 2-0 now the count to Eric Garza, who's playing right field here this evening for the Newton Rebels. Once again, Parcero on at first base as he drew a walk. And then we had a pitching change. Tyler Farmer now the pitching. Garza attempts a bunt. That goes foul. So the count will now go to 2 balls and 1 strike. Rebels trying to get a man in scoring position here as we are in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Once again, the Newton Rebels will be in action tomorrow evening as the Newton Rebels head to Hutchinson, Kansas on a makeup date. It was originally scheduled to be a day off. We had a rain out one day last week, so we'll be going to Hutchinson to have that makeup date. Count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes as Garza fouled that one off. Maybe swinging away now here. We'll see. And here's Farmer's pitch. Garza is going to attempt the bunt. That missing outside for ball 3. So the count goes full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Barcero at first base. Farmer, a left-handed thrower. And here's Farmer's pitch. Garza attempts a bunt, and it is fouled off, so that is out number 1 by Garza as he fouled that one off. We welcome Chad back.
So Sam Cassane. I got to hit. There we go. Sam Cassane coming to the plate with, one away here in the 4th. Pitch to Cassane is low and away. It'll be 1-0. Throw to first will chase Parcero back, and that was more of a, hey, we're thinking about you thing than anything else. Swing and a miss for Cassane. Swing and a miss for Cassane. One and 2 count, and Cassane will strike out for the second time in this ball game.
Now batting for the Rebels, number 2, Jack Sechrist.
And Jack Sechrist now coming to the plate. He is 1 for 1 with a run scored. He got a single in the first, and then he got a walk he was able to turn into a run into the 3rd.
That was when Bonventry hit
Hit that big knock.
Uh-huh.
It was in the 3rd. And saw my good friend Chris Reimer downstairs, and that young man is now a huge Enzo Bonventry fan. So the long ball will do that. 1-0 count. And pitch is inside. So Grace, if you're watching and listening, you might text Enzo because there's about an 11-year-old boy that really wants Enzo's autograph after the game. 2-0 count, comes inside. He'll dance away from it, and we'll go to 3-0.
Met the Bonventrys last year, and they're very
Yes.
supportive of Enzo.
It's always a pleasure to meet parents of players, and they were a true pleasure. Ground ball towards short. They'll make the flip to second. And the Rebels will be retired. So it's no runs, no hits, no errors. And we'll head to the 5th. This game tied at 3. Yeah, I think they drove down here all the way from Michigan to see him play last year.
That's correct.
Bravo coming back out again here in the 5th. Tie game here.
Speaking of parents, Carter Frazier's parents were in from California to watch Carson pitch last night. Did a good job. And then also parents for A.J. Parcero are in from California. And talked to them yesterday in Derby. They said Friday evening was their first day here, and they were going to be here for about 9 days. So they said they're looking forward to going to X Stadium tomorrow or on Tuesday evening.
Yes.
As the Newton Rebels will be playing at 5 o'clock in that doubleheader at X Stadium.
Last I checked, the opponent to be announced. And then we'll be back home after that for a couple nights with a couple of elite high school teams out of Wichita. Leading things off here in the fifth is Carson Shively. He will take ball one as it's inside. Fouls this one back to the screen, and that should set the count at 1-1. Off the end of the bat will drop in the shallow left. Wounded duck single. And that'll bring up Cade Clemens. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Flew out in the second.
One thing that the Derby Twins do really well, Chad, and that is they get the first runner on base. That's the third time in 5 innings now.
Yep. Breaking ball, strike one. That was nasty. Bunted, right back to Bravo. He'll make the throw to first. And that will move Shively over to second. And Billy Rogers coming to the plate.
That was a nice sacrifice there by Cade Clemens to move Shively over to second base.
Rogers is 1 for 2 in this ball game. He's got a double and a strikeout. Pitch inside, just a little too far inside, and the count will be 1-0. Line shot towards right field will be tracked down by Garza in right field. And he'll get that ball into the infield in a hurry, and nobody is going anywhere. That keeps the runner at second. And now there's 2 outs for Gus Freeman. Freeman had an RBI single in the second and popped one up to third base in the third. Takes a look at second before coming home with a breaking ball. It'll stay shoulder high. 1-0 your count on Gus Freeman. Shively with a fairly standard lead there at second. It's enough for a look, but not enough for a throw. Breaking ball called a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Count. Pitch is in the dirt and outside, and the count will go to 2-1. Pops him up on the infield. Brotman will camp underneath it and make the play. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. A runner left, and we'll head to the bottom of 5 with this game still tied at 3 apiece. And with what we've seen in the last 2 games of the series, would you expect anything other than a tight ball game at this point?
No, that's both teams playing well here this evening, and they have for the last 2-3 ball games on both sides. Really competitive teams, and they've shown a lot of heart on both teams, scoring a lot of runs. But tonight, so far, the Derby has 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error, and the Newton Rebels have 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors.
So Tyler Farmer coming back in here for his second inning of work. Due up for the Rebels will be Brotman, Andrews, and Uchi. And hopefully the Rebs can find a way to break the tie.
Main thing, Chad, they got to take advantage of when they get runners on base. See, I told you that the Derby Twins had led off and got the leadoff runner on 3 times out of the 5. Newton has done the same, but
not been quite as effective as pushing that
no,
runner
exactly
around.
right.
Right?
Matter of fact, they're 4 for 4 at getting that leadoff runner.
Well, let's hope Brotman can do it again here. He had a sacrifice in the 3rd and was called out on a interference play in the 1st. Fouls this one back to the parking lot.
Bring that foul ball to the interstate with free candy.
0-1 will be the count as we resume the at-bat. Pitch is outside and will be ball 1.
Farmer was looking for that call there, but home plate umpire kind of twitched but didn't call it.
Well, Freeman tried to frame that ball, and that's usually not a good idea. Umpires do see that, and they do understand what's going on there. 2-1 as it tails outside. Just over the mitt of Clemens at short, and that'll be a single for Andrew Brotman. Lincoln Andrews now coming to the plate. He had that big RBI triple in the 3rd. He is overall 1 for 2. With an RBI. So here we go with Lincoln Andrews. None away here. A runner at first. Right back up the middle, and that'll get underneath Clemens. Would have been an unbelievable play had he come up with that ball, to be honest. That was well hit into the right spot.
As soon as that was hit, I thought that was an automatic double play, and just looked like the shortstop didn't move fast enough to get his glove down, and went right by him.
Yeah, it would have been a good play, but it was definitely a tough one. And Abiki Uchi now coming to the plate with runners at first and second and none away. He is 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a strikeout. Going to show bunt, pulls it back, called strike. He's a hustle player. That means he'll put pressure on if he gets this bunt down. Pulls this one back. They charge really hard from first. I'm not sure I remember somebody charging quite as hard as DeLong did on that play.
Yeah, here's where you want to lay the ball down towards third base, and if you can do it nice and softly, make that third baseman make the play.
And that's pretty much what he did. It's going to end up over at the pitcher's mound in the pitcher's hand. Farmer will make the throw. But that sacrifice will move 2 runners into scoring position for Enzo Bonventre, who is at this time 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run scored in this game.
They're going to walk him automatically here. You can't blame him either.
Strategically, I'd do it too.
Yep.
Because it's much different. The situation becomes much different.
And I did want to bring out that great sacrifice there by Uchi to get the runners over to second and third.
Yes. So now what they're trying to do is set up the possibility for a double play to get out of this one. So if Eshelman can get himself a hit here, which would be his first of the game, we would be looking at taking the lead. They're playing deep up the middle and normal depth at the corners.
Well, Brotman's a good runner at third base here, so we'll see what happens if the ball happens to get away from the catcher.
Ground ball towards first will go foul. And there should be, yeah, it is 0-2. That first pitch was called a strike. I'm not sure why, but it was. 0-2 your count now. 1 away. That one high. And the count is now 1-2. Pitch is in the dirt, and count goes to 2-2. Farmer trying to work the outside corner and induce the little dribbler. 2-2 count. Setting outside again. He'll reach for it and foul it away.
Well, if Newton Rebels can get Eshelman on, or Parcero is up, who was 3 for 5 last night, had 4 RBIs.
Called third strike. That looked low from my vantage point, but it's called third strike nonetheless. He got hit with a couple of low and away pitches that were questionable. And A.J. Parcero is due up, but we're going to have a conference on the mound. We do have action in the visitors' bullpen right now.
That may be it, because we do have a left-handed pitcher against a right-handed batter, and we saw what Parcero can do. Like I say, going 3 for 5 last night. So we are having a pitching change.
Yes, we are. Pretty critical point in the ball game right here. There's 2 away, but the runners, the bases are jammed. And this is a tie ball game.
We do have a right-handed pitcher coming out to pitch. We'll see who it is. think it's Juan Navarrete, number 23. Let's see here.
You catch it, 19? Kristen Johnson?
Might be number, yeah, it is number 19, sorry. That is Christian Johnson. He's a right-handed thrower, 6 foot, 185 pounder.
Number 19, Christian Johnson.
So Johnson will enter the game with 2 away and the bases loaded. He'll be facing A.J. Parcero, who flew out in the second and walked in the fourth. Let's take a moment here. We'll thank Roofing Services Unlimited, our major game sponsor of the evening, for their sponsorship of Newton Rebel Baseball. Also want to thank Pate and Paw Attorneys at Law as a sponsor of Newton Rebel Baseball. And the new business in town, Duty Works, for their sponsorship of Newton Rebels Baseball. So Parcero will dig in. Need a base hit anywhere or a walk. All game they've been wanting that pitch, and they finally got it. Strike one. Comes inside, and the count will go to 0-2 as it's a called strike.
Look for Johnson to make Parcero chase something.
Pitch comes upstairs, and the count will go to 1-2 as Parcero lays off. Swing and a miss. And they're able to get out of the inning. Johnson records his first strikeout of the game, and it's a big one. No runs on 2 hits. No errors, and 3 runners left. We'll head to the top of 6th with the game tied. So due up here in the 6th will be the 9-1-2s, Matt Aiken, Cole Romero, and Carson Proct. And a reliever coming in for the Rebs. Zach Bravo will sit down after 5 innings pitched. He gave up 5 hits, 3 runs.
Coming to the pitch is number 18, Yukihiro David Muto.
Yukihiro David Muto.
Muto's a 5'7", 209 pounder. From Ichi, Japan.
So we'll see what David Muto has in store as he's ready to face the 9-1-2s from the Twins in a tie ball game here at Klein Scott Field on a picture-perfect Sunday night.
And we'd like to say hi to David's parents in Japan, Koji and Adeline Muto. And I think got 2 siblings, Emmy and Kenzo. He was the one that I thought had a very interesting answer. He wanted to know, or I wanted to know who he liked to meet, and he said he'd like to meet himself after 10 years.
And the first one will be a ground ball right back to David Muto, and he will make the throw over to first. Andrew's there to receive it, and Matt Aiken is retired. 1 pitch, 1 out. Cole Romero now coming to the plate. Romero 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in this ball game.
And I have a trivia question for you. Do you know what time it is in Japan?
I don't want to go through the mental gymnastics of figuring it out at this point.
Okay.
I don't know. What's their GMT designation?
Bring that foul ball to the interstate.
Foul ball down the first base side, now to play, and that's 0-1 to Cole Romero.
But I'll see what I can find out.
Now, Frank, you're going to cheat and go to your iPhone. Come on, man. Bunt attempt will go foul. Oh, 2 your count now on Cole Romero.
Well, I found out what time it is. 10:54 a.m.
Well, getting about ready to start making lunchtime, huh?
Monday morning.
There you go. Pitch is low and away, and the count goes to 1-2. Pitch is well inside. Muto wants that pitch, but that was inside. Got to remember, it's not where the catcher catches it, but where it comes across the plate. And the count is 2-2. Breaking ball gets the pop fly down the first base side, and that will be caught.
Sigris.
Seacrest making a long run to get to that ball. He covered a lot of real estate.
Nice hustle there by Jack Sigris to make that catch towards the line.
Carson Proct now coming to the plate. He reached on that 2-base error in the 4th. He walked in the 1st. Struck out in the 2nd. Swing and a miss to open the at-bat. And David Muto just delivered a picture-perfect pitch. 0-1 the count.
And I remember Muto, he's the one that's got kind of a little pause in his delivery.
Yes, sir. Right there it is. That foot just pauses right at the top of the step. 0-2 the count. Pitch is upstairs. Count is 1-2. And the bottom line with that little move, it's perfectly legal as long as it's consistent. You know, there's just no two ways about it. 1-2. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, and that's a strikeout. That's 3 up, 3 down. I think that's the first time we've had one of those.
It is
on
tonight,
these guys,
anyway.
Yes. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And David Muto gets a strikeout in that half inning. We go to the bottom of 6. Rebs tied with the Twins 3-3. Eric Garza, Sam Cassane, and Jack Seacrest due up. And Christian Johnson coming back out. To work the 6th for the Twins.
Point streak still stuck on the first inning for some reason. I think it was had something to do with that interference.
That might be it. It was a weird situation,
Yep.
and they might have.
Sometimes you can't go forward unless you punch the right button
Yeah,
in.
you got
and-
to clear that play. and
Right.
If you don't know how to clear that play, it's going to stay stuck. Looks like we got. Do we got a pinch hitter coming?
Yes, we do. Number 13, that's Gaston coming in.
So Darius Gaston coming in place of Eric Garza. Garza had gone 0 for 2 in the ball game so far. Gaston will foul the first pitch away. Gaston's got some wheels, so if he puts the ball in play, he's hard to retire. Pitch is inside, called a strike, and I'm starting to feel like the strike zone has widened a little bit. Fouls it back to the screen, and we'll stay at 0-2 on Darius Gaston.
Oh, great pitch.
Great pitch. That was a breaking ball, and Gaston will strike out looking.
Now batting for the Rebels, number 14, Sam Cassay.
You know it's a great pitch when the batter just turns, shakes his head, and walks back to the dugout.
Yep, exactly right.
Yes. Sam Cassane now coming to the plate, 0 for 2, pair of strikeouts in this ball game. So we're looking for some production out of the 8-9 hitters, and we're not finding it so far. Hopefully Cassane can change that here. Swing and a miss to strike 1.
Nope, they've been up 5 times and struck out 5 times.
Yep, pitch is low and away. Pitch is low and away, but called a strike, and we go to 1-2. Now went in the dirt, and the count will go to 2-2. Ground ball towards second will be fielded. Nice throw. Will retire Cassane, but at least he put the ball in play.
Now batting for the Rebels, number 2, Jack.
Unfortunately, he hit it right to Cole Romero over there at second base. And Jack Sechrist now coming to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Pitch in the dirt. That should be a ball. 1-0. Ground ball over towards short. 6-3. And the Rebs go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the top of 7 with this game tied at 3. Due up for the Twins in the 7th will be Tyler DeLong, Brennan Van Brusingen, and Carson Shively. And David Muto is walking back out to the mound for his second inning of work. And I'm afraid I'm starting to fade, so I'm not liking the idea of extra innings today. Took the kids out to the lake and went swimming this afternoon, and that can drain a person.
That sun will do that to you.
Yes, yes, it will.
I got a chance to go have breakfast with my grandkids at 8 o'clock. They called last night while I was doing the game and asked me to come over for breakfast. And after that, I had a Another grandson that had a ball game was able to go watch it, and then I went home, took a small nap before getting ready to come out here for the ball game. Set things up.
That sounds like a great day right there. So Tyler DeLong will lead things off for the Twins. 0 for 2 with a walk. Pitch is inside, just a little too far inside as he went after the knees, and it's 1-0. Once again, just a little too far inside, and the count goes to 2-0. Pops him up into left, and that will be caught. Parcero out there making the play. Brennan Van Bruzingen coming to the plate, 0 for 1, though he has a run scored. Came home on that wild pitch in the third after walking. He's got 2 walks in this game. He lays down a bunt, and he will be on. Infield single for Van Bruzingen. Carson Shively now coming to the plate. 1 for 3. He had a hit in the fifth. He reached on an error in the third. David Muto will miss with the first offering here. He'll step off as Van Bruzingen taking a moderate lead at first.
Oh, hit him.
Hit him on the helmet. Shively will Roger Dornett down to first base. So now there's runners at first and second with 1 away. And Cade Clemens coming to the plate. Clemens laid down a sacrifice in the fifth. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Flew out in the second. All of that says he's been putting the ball in play today.
Mm-hmm.
David Muto checks second, comes home. Right down the line, out of the reach of Eshelman at third, and a run will score. That'll end up being an RBI double for Clemens. And Rebs down 4-3 now. Runners at second and third for Billy Rogers. Rogers had a double in this game, that coming in the second inning. He's also struck out and flown out. There's 1 away here with 2 ducks on the pond. Swing and a miss.
That was a fly ball to the first baseman, a hard line shot. Andrews was able to
looking down.
snag.
So that's a nice little development for the Rebs. Gus Freeman now coming to the plate. He had an RBI single in the second and a couple of flyouts.
They've called a balk on the pitcher. Not exactly sure what the deal was. But David Muto was not too happy about it.
So the definition of a balk is an action by the pitcher to deceive a base runner. That's the definition. But that will give them a free run, and there's now a 2-run lead for the Twins. Called strike on a breaking ball to Gus Freeman. Inside and down, and the count will go to 1-1. Pitch is down, and the count will go to 2-1. He dropped the ball, and that's a balk. That is a balk, and as frustrating as it is, that's the rule. I don't mean to be a jerk, but David Muto, you just got to catch the blasted ball. And you got to keep it in your glove. Wanted that pitch. It's upstairs, and we'll go to 3-1. And they'll issue the walk.
Now batting for the Twins, number 30, Matt Aiken. Do we have anybody actually watching this? You know?
Two down here in the top of the 7th. There's a runner at first, and Rebs gave up a run off of hits and then 2 straight balks. Pitch is outside, and it's 1-0. Pitch comes inside. He'll dance away from it. And the count will go to 2-0 on Matt Aiken. 1 for 3 in this ball game so far. Had a hit in the 2nd. Runner going on the pitch. No throw. Strike call. Inside fastball. 2-2 count. You put a lot extra on that pitch. Upstairs. And that'll be the walk. Time called. And David Muto is headed to the dugout. And it almost appears as though that second balk kind of got into his brain. And that looks like Gillick, am I right?
Zach Gillick is number 34. Looks like he may be coming out. Coming in, correction.
Now pitching for the Newton Rebels, number 34, Zach Gillick.
Zach Gillick is a 6'2" right-handed thrower, 205 pounders from Friends University. and he comes from Valley Center, Kansas. Parents are Jason and Stephanie Gillick. And Gillick is up there also in strikeouts on the leaderboard. I think they have him down for 18, but I actually have him down for 19. There was one strikeout that he was not credited with.
Okay. Well, he will face the top of the order. Cole Romero will be coming to the plate. Romero representing the, eighth batter of the inning so far. And the Rebs in danger of giving up a really big inning again. Romero is 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored.
Now batting for the Twins, number 4, Cole Romero.
We do want to welcome everybody that is watching. We have 72 viewers right now, Chad.
Very nice. Gillick will step off and step back on. Takes a look at second. Strike called on the inside half of the plate. Just below the elbows. Looked like a slider. 0-1 the count. Oh and 1 the count. Ground ball right back up the middle. That will be scooped. The throw to first in time by Sechrist. So 3-run score on 2 hits. 2 runners will be left. We'll head to the bottom of 7 with the Rebs down by a trio. Due up for the Rebels, Andrew Brotman, Lincoln Andrews, and Hibiki Uchi. Want to take a moment to thank Realty Connections, Store and Stuff in U-Haul, as well as Shamrock Car Wash, Affordable Autos of Wichita, Remax Associates of Newton, Kansas, and that's Alex Carbajal. Want to thank the Tim Marler family, the founder Carl Hodges, and Dr. Brett Roof's DDS for their sponsorship of Newton Rebels baseball this year. Also a few folks we need to thank here, Connie Miller, Joe Pedlow, Brett and Michelle Kaufman, Aaron Eshelman, he's a player on the field today, Tammy Schmidt, Chad and Joni Considine, and also another player who's on the field today, Zach Bravo. Those are host families. They have welcomed Newton Rebels into their homes this summer as we put together this baseball season. If that's something you might be interested in doing, maybe you've got a youngin' at home playing baseball that would be thrilled to death to have a real live wood bat baseball player in your home, contact us through Facebook and also consider volunteering for our board as well. It's always the more the merrier, and many hands make light work. Andrew Brotman here to start off the 7th for the Rebels. He is 1 for 3. He's got a sacrifice in this game. Was called out on an interference play in the first. Pitch is in the dirt, and the count will go to 1-1 on Brotman.
We do have a comment about a fan there that wants to know about point streak. Like I say, it quit working in the bottom half of the first inning.
Swing and a miss.
Due to the fact of that interference by Brotman, and I'm sure that that's what's holding them up. But that's your answer for the fan that I think it's Sandy.
Pitch in the dirt. I haven't seen an interference call on a batter in years, which means that whoever's keeping score is probably still trying to figure out how to make that work. And that'll drop in for a hit down the right field, and he is going to hoof for two. He's going to try and stretch it, and he's going to get to second. The throw will be off. That'll be a double for Andrew Brotman.
So that's the second hit there for Brotman here this evening.
Yes, it is. And Lincoln Andrews now coming to the plate. Andrews has a single and a triple in this particular ball game. He is 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI.
As Brotman now records his 15th hit of the season.
And somehow, I mean, he was off like a shot out of that batter's box, and you knew he was going to try and get a double. And he made that turn at first well enough to make it happen. Don't let a football coach see that. They'll get some idea of making him a running back. Pitch is up and away, and the count will be 1-0. To Lincoln Andrews. Just caught the outside corner on the knees, and the count will go to 1-1. Comes inside and in the dirt, and the count will go to 2-1. Got too far underneath it, and this will be a pop fly over towards short, and Cade Clemens will make the play.
Now batting for the Royals, number 15, Vicky Uchi.
And that'll bring up Vicky Uchi. He has got a sacrifice in this ball game. He's also grounded out and struck out.
By the way, Chad, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but about 2-3 games ago, we put chat in so people can make comments. We do thank you very much for your comments and for watching. Don't forget to tell your friends and family about Newton Rebels baseball.
Pop one out of play into the parking lot. That'll be foul ball, and that'll be strike one, 0-1. Pitch is back to the screens and in the dirt, and that'll allow Brotman to head to third base on the wild pitch.
Well, the Rebels definitely need to take advantage of this, get another run across, get a little bit closer, make it 6-4 if possible.
Yep.
With one down.
2 runs is easier to overcome than 3. Ground ball towards short. Uchi hoofing for first. He'll be called out at first, but that'll be an RBI for Hubiki Uchi as Brotman will come home on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Enzo Bonventre. He was the recipient of an intentional walk in his last appearance in this ball game, and he has a single and a 2-run home run. That big dinger coming in the third. deep in the hole at short, and he is going to be aboard.
Great effort there by the
Enzo.
shortstop there.
Yes, it was. But Clemens was really deep in that hole, and it would have been a miracle to get that one. And because of where that ball ended up, the throw allows Enzo to go to second. Hit and an error. So Enzo 3 for 3 and the recipient of 2 errors in this game. Aaron Eshelman now coming to the plate. He threw it away, and it ended up out of play, which sends Enzo to second base. Eshelman now coming to the plate with a runner in scoring position. He is 0 for 3 today. He lays down a bunt, and it'll go foul.
Look at the wheels on Eshelman.
Yeah, he was thinking bunting for a single to get runners to the corners, but that sucker ended up foul. So the count will go to 0-1 on Eshelman. And boy, he was really moving down that line, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Pitch comes down low and inside, and that'll even the count at 1-1.
You were talking about Brotman being a football player. Bob Brotman says he was a wide receiver, first team All-State.
Yeah, see, I told you, he makes that cut. You know, that's okay. So we'll put him at wide receiver instead of running back, and there you go. Uchi's a little short to be a quarterback, but he's got the arm for it. So all of a sudden, we're starting to see a team. 2-1. To Eshelman. He'll step out. Swing and a miss, and that'll even the count at 2s. 2-2 with 2 away and a runner at second. We're here in the bottom of 7, and the Rebs trailing by a pair. Pitch low and away, and the count will go to full.
All right, Mr. Eshelman, all you got to do is protect that plate now.
Yes, sir. Very valuable run over there at second base. He's going to back out. Count stays full. He got a piece of it to stay alive, and the count will remain full. Breaking ball froze him. Strikes out looking, but the Rebs do get one. 1 run on 2 hits. And a runner left. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Rebs down by 2.
And I'm going to go take another small break, so
Yep.
I'll be right back.
At the moment, the Rebs are wanting a couple of runs back from the 7th that were literally given away. But that's why we play these games. Guys got to learn this stuff. And hopefully that's the case here. Carson Pracht, Tyler DeLon, and Brennan Van Brusiken due up for the Twins in the 8th. Coming out to work the 8th will be the reliever, Zach Gillick. And in case you're wondering, Zach Bravo, the Newton Rebels starter, will get a no decision today. And that if things do not change over the course of the next 2 innings, David Muto would take the loss.
Number 8, Carson Prock.
Carson Procht now coming to the plate to start things off here in the 8th. Just missing upstairs with a breaking ball, and the count will go to 1-0. Pitch is in the dirt. Count goes to 2-0. Pitch is inside and low, and we go to 3-0 count. Right down the middle. That'll etch the first strike of the inning, and the count will go to 3-1 on Carson Procht. And Procht is aboard after 5 pitches. And that'll bring up DeLong.
Number 5, Tyler DeLong.
Flew out in his last at bat. Has a runner at first with none away here in the top of the 8th. Throw to first will get away. It was wide of the bag.
May go to third.
Yes, and he will go to third. So now we've got a runner at third with none away here in the top of the 8th. Swing and a miss.
With
0-1.
With that runner at third base, the infield's now come in to try to keep him from not scoring.
Called strike. DeLong visibly frustrated by that pitch. It was a breaking ball on the inside half of the plate. Goes way outside, hoping to induce the chase, but is not able to do so, and the count is 1-2. Fly ball to left. That just barely hits in fair territory. That'll end up being a double. Specifically an RBI double for DeLong. Rebs down by 3 again. 7-4 in the 8th. Brennan Van Brusiken coming to the plate. He had a single in his last appearance. 1 for 2 with a pair of walks tonight. First pitch will miss inside. It'll be 1-0. Comes inside again and misses again, and the count will go to 2-0. And that ground ball snakes down the line as well, and that'll be yet another double, and it's station to station play, and the Rebs now down by 4.
Now batting for the Twins, number 7, Carson Shibley.
Carson Shively now coming to the plate. Pitches upstairs, and that'll be 1-0. Called strike inside. 1-1 the count now on Shively. Called strike right on the knee. Down the middle, 1-2. Pitch in the dirt. Well played by Uchi, and the count will go to 2-2. Called strike for the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Twins, number 9, Cade Clemens.
Cade Clemens now coming to the plate. He'll foul the first one back to the screen, and it'll go to 0-1.
With that strikeout, Gillick recorded his first strikeout for tonight and the 20th for the season.
Very nice. Pitch comes inside, and the count is 1-1. He'll step off, and we'll reset with 1-1 count. There's one away here and a runner at second. Called strike. Swing and a miss. And that'll bring up Billy Rogers, who is 1 for 4.
Number 12, Billy Rogers.
Had a double, but he turned into a run scored in the second.
Whoa.
Wild pitch will allow the runner to head to third.
Looked like Gillick was trying to throw a change up there, and that thing just slipped out of his hands and never even came anywhere close to the batter's box.
Too bad there wasn't a mascot standing there somewhere. All right, 1-0. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1.
Actually reminded me of a first pitch thrown by a couple of people that hit the cameraman taking pictures. Go to YouTube, you'll find it there.
I'm sure. 2-1. Now the count as that pitch comes well outside. Pops him up into foul territory. Chase being given. And he overran the ball over by the dugout.
He did catch it, though.
But he did catch it.
Yeah. I didn't know if you saw that or not. I thought I'd help you out there.
He made that play more interesting just by overrunning the ball. But you know what? In all fairness, that thing gets up there in the lights, and it's tough for anybody to see. We've seen some real struggles as a result of that one. 2-run score on 2 hits. And we'll head to the bottom of the 8th with the Rebels down by 4. And due up, though I'm hearing we might be seeing something other than this, due up is A.J. Parcero, Gaston, and Sam Cassane.
Looks like Christian Johnson coming back out for his 3rd inning of work.
Yes, he is. He's got a couple strikeouts in his efforts thus far. So Lachlan Ross coming in. Lachlan Ross coming in to pinch hit for A.J. Parcero here in the 8th. He will be followed by Darius Gaston. Did he wear it? No, he did not. Could have. 1-0 as it comes well inside. Just misses the elbow. Breaking ball will catch the corner of the plate, and the count will be 1-0. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2 for Lachlan Ross. Fly ball will go towards center field. That will be caught. Billy Rogers will camp underneath that one. And Eric Garton, I went back to my starting lineup. Darius Gaston now coming to the plate. He struck out looking in his last appearance, that coming in the 6th. First pitch to Darius will be away. Now this one will be upstairs, and Gaston has worked himself to a 2-0 count. Pitch right down Broadway. Gaston will take, and it'll be strike 1. 2-1. Pitch will be low and away. And Gaston has now entered the hitter's pitch. 3-1. Comes inside, and Gaston is aboard with the walk.
Now batting for the Rebels, number 14, Sam Cassane.
Sam Cassane now coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Got a runner at first with the Rebels down by 4. And there's one away. Pitch down in the dirt. And it'll be 1-0 to Cassane.
Twins do have somebody warming up out in the bullpen.
Throw to first. That was not the A-game throw. In case you're wondering, he can't fake the throw to first, so once you've started, you got to make it. 1-0. Pitch is outside, and the count goes to 2-0. Two and 0. Called strike on the outside half of the plate. 2-1 your count. Thought about chasing the pitch low and away, but thought better of it, and is rewarded with a 3-1 count. Cassane will step out. We'll stay at 3-1. Called second strike, sorry. Inside half of the plate, count will go to full. Off the bat handle, that'll drop into shallow right. And the Rebels will have runners at the corners. Gaston showing his wheels. And that'll send us back to the top of the order. Jack Sechrist coming to the plate. 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored in this ball game. There is one away. There's a runner at third, a runner at first. And we're here in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, the Rebels need to get them across here if they can. Get the score closer as we're down 8-4 right now.
Yes, we need 1 or 2 right here. Pitch is low, and the count goes to 1-0. That'll score the run. That'll slice down the line into right field. And we'll have runners at first and second. No, the ball gets away from third, and the throwing error will lead to a pair of runs scoring on the play, and Jack Sechrist standing at third base. So the throwing error will allow 2 runs to score. Well, 1 run to score because Gaston was going to score on that no matter what. That was a solid hit. And now Andrew Brotman coming to the plate. Rebels down by 2. There's 1 away and a runner at third. Brotman had a double in his last appearance in this ball game. Fouls this one back to the screen.
And the hot bat comes up of Andrew Brotman.
He had that sacrifice in the third, then he singled in the 5th and doubled in the 7th. Turned that double into a run scored in the 7th as well. Pitch in the dirt. Well played by Freeman, and the count is 1-1.
Well, I think it's safe to say anything out in the outfield will score a run because Sechrist has some wheels if it's deep enough.
Pitch again in the dirt, and again well played by Freeman. 3-1 will be the count. Johnson keeps working around for the low ball and keeps missing down there, putting it in the dirt or just below the knee.
And while Brotman's up there, we'd like to say hi to his parents, Bob and Christy Brotman,
He'll foul this one back to the parking lot.
and his siblings, Zach, Jeannie, and Bethany. Hope you're enjoying the ball game.
Full count now. One away, runner at third. And that'll be a walk.
Now batting for the Rebels, number 21, Lincoln Andrews.
Lincoln Andrews coming to the plate. He's 2 for 4. He's got a single, a triple, a run scored, and an RBI. And I got a feeling, and I'm right, Derby's seen enough of Mr. Johnson right now. In a 2-run game, the tying run at first, they're going to go to the pen.
Looks like it's going to be a left-handed pitcher. See who it is.
All right, we have time now. We can announce the winner of the 50-50 raffle, so get your tickets out. The winning number is 277088. 277088. You have that ticket. Meet players right behind home base. Once again, the winning number is 277088. Thank you for supporting the Newton Rebels.
It's going to be number 18, looks like, which is Miles Clack. 18. Miles Clack is a 6'1", 185 pounder from Katy, Texas. So he'll be coming in to pitch for the Derby Twins.
Number 18,
We saw him on this field just the other night, actually.
Yep.
And you know, when I looked at the schedule and saw 40 games in what felt like 40 days, not quite that tight, but pretty close. One of the things I thought about was the need for a lot of arms for every team in the league this season. And tonight we're seeing bunches of guys running on short rest.
Looks like Clack has pitched in 5 games, has gone 9 innings. He's given up 11 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned runs, has 4 base on balls, and has recorded 4 strikeouts, and is 1-0 for the season.
So Lincoln Andrews due up at the plate for the Rebs. A base hit would be wonderful right here. Called strike on the outside corner, knee high. 0-1. Called strike outside corner, knee high. Andrews down in the count, 0-2. Just missed, low and away. 1-2 the count. Ground ball towards first. He'll beat the throw to throw to first to prevent the double play. So Lincoln Andrews is aboard, and the run will come home in the form of Sechrist. Brotman retired at second. And Joey Martinez now coming to the plate.
Rebels number 23, Joey Martinez.
This will be Martinez's first appearance in this ball game.
Martinez coming in batting 400 for the Rebels.
First pitch will be a bit low. It'll be 1-0. Rebs down by 1 run.
He's been up the bat 30 times and has 12 hits.
Fouls this one back behind the screens. And it'll be 1-1. And guess who's in the on-deck circle?
Mr. Probably the Boom Bonventry.
Yes, sir. One and one the count. Pitch well outside, and the count will go to 2-1. Just catches the inside corner, hands high. It's called a strike, and it's 2-2. And got him with a strikeout. But the Rebs battle back with 3 runs on 2 hits. An error was charged. We'll head to the top of the 9th. Rebs down by a run. They have out-hit their guests tonight so far, 10-9. But they gave away a couple of runs back in the 7th.
And also, I believe they had the bases loaded one time. Yep, in the 5th inning, we had the bases loaded with 1 out.
Could not score at that point. There's two key stretches in this ball game. Due up for the Twins here in the 9th will be the 8 9s and 1s. Gus Freeman, Matt Aiken, Cole Romero.
And Zach Gillick is done for the night as number 19, Carson Frazier is coming in. He's a 6 foot, 155 pounder.
Now pitching for the Newton Rebels, number 19, Carson Frazier.
Well, this is it, folks. 6 outs remain in the ball game.
Somebody wants to know what the score is. The score is 8-7 in favor of the Derby Twins as we're in the top half of the 9th inning. They must just now start listening.
Now batting for the Twins, number 33, Gus Freeman.
Freeman will dig in to face Frazier and open up the 9th inning. Frazier will deliver. Called strike. 0-1 the count.
Frazier came in to pitch last night in the ball game in Derby, and he also has parents in from California. Uh-oh.
That one caught him in the head.
I think that might have hit him in the back of the neck, it looks like.
So Brooke, the trainer, will come on out and take a look.
We may have a pinch runner for Freeman here. See who it is. Yeah, we just gave him the score. Looks like Freeman's going to go to first base.
Yes, he is. He gets the Guts Award for the game.
Now batting for the Twins, number 30, Matt Aiken.
Matt Aiken now coming to the plate. He walked in his last appearance. Overall, he is 1 for 3.
And look for a sacrifice bunt laid down here by Aikens. Try to get that runner over.
Well, that's what I would do. In this ball game, you know, it's a one-run game. Let's just get somebody moved over and try and get another one. But then again, I'm not coaching. 0-1 the count after the first pitch hits the outside corner.
Eshelman sneaking in just a little bit at third base.
Oh, he did put it down, but it's going to go foul. Count will go to 0-2. So now as a coach, how much do you trust his ability to bunt?
Well, I was surprised he was swinging away on that first pitch, to be honest with you.
It's 0-2. Went outside, too far outside. Count goes to 1-2.
By the way, now catching is that Joey Martinez who came in to pinch hit.
Yes. Just missing with the breaking ball, about knee high, but just a little off the dish, and the count is 2-2. Ground ball towards short. The throw to first in time, and there's one away. Same effect as a bunt.
Now batting for the Twins, number 4, Cole Romero.
Yeah, Brotman was towards second base. And then he had to go deep in the hole there to the right side, third base side.
Cole Romero now coming to the plate. He is 1 for 4 with a walk and a run scored. Swing and a miss. Ground ball will get through. That will probably score that run. And Freeman will score from second.
Now batting for the Twins, number 8, Carson Brock.
And that'll bring up Carson Proct. Rebs now down by 2, 9-7. Brock walked and then turned that into a run in his last appearance coming in the 8th inning. That was fouled away with the runner going.
Bring that foul ball to the entrance gate for some free candy.
Just misses down low, and the count will go to 1-1. Throw to first, not in time. Pitch will tail inside, and the count will go to 2-1. Checks the runner, throws. Throw not in time, and we'll reset it with a 2-1 count. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count.
Great pitch.
Just froze him with that pitch, and now there's 2 away as he strikes out looking. Tyler DeLong coming to the plate. He got a double in his last appearance, turned that into a run scored. That coming in the 8th. Frazier will fall behind in the count with his first 2 offerings. Throw to first will get away, but no harm as nobody going anywhere. Andrews not able to handle that low throw. Seacrest was able to back him up and get a hold of that before anybody goes anywhere. Romero will be on first, and we'll have a 2-0 count with 2 away. Pop fly into shallow center field will be
He missed it.
dropped. He had to come a long way to get that ball. The result is an E8. That'll allow Romero to score. And now the Rebels are down 9-10-7.
Looked like Hussein never really picked up the ball. Then when he did, he really had to hustle and go a long ways. And
it looked like everybody was having a hard time picking up that ball,
Yeah.
and there was a little indecisiveness as a result. Because he did come a long way. That's in one of those spots where it could have been either an outfielder or an infielder taking it. Pitch goes back to the screen. And now there's a runner at third, 2 away, and the count is 1-0. Another inside-outed fly ball. This one will be caught.
Now batting for the Twins is number 7, Carson Shibley.
That was a base hit. It fell in.
Oh, it fell in.
Yes, it did.
Okay. Well, they're not the only ones having problems seeing the baseball, apparently. And the Rebs back down by 4. Strike call, the inside half of the plate. Throw to second is off. It'll be a stolen base for Van Bruce again. Pitch is low and away.
They said he went.
And they say he went, and that'll be a strikeout. But damage done. 3 runs. On 2 hits, an error, and a runner left. We'll head to the bottom of 9. Rebels down by 4. You know, they battled their way back in it, and then a couple of loops, couple of bloops, and the next thing you know, you're back down by 4.
Yep. Rebels are going to come back like they did last night as they were down 1 run, end up scoring 4 runs in the top half of the 9th inning. So we'll see what the Rebels can do here in the bottom half of the 9th. They're down 11-7. Like you say, they're down by 4.
Due up will be Enzo Bonventre, Aaron Eshelman, Lachlan Ross, and Darius Gaston. Miles Clack back out on the mound.
Now batting for the Newton Rebels, number 17, the boom, Enzo Bonventre.
First pitch to Bonventre, low and in away. Called strike on Bonventre. Puts it at 1-1.
Last pitch was fouled off by Bonventre.
Called third strike on a breaking ball. We'll bring in Aaron Eshelman.
Now batting for Rebels, number 5, Aaron Eshelman.
He is 0 for 3 in this ball game. He struck out looking in his last 2 at bats. Swing and a miss to open the at bat.
I officially have a headache.
I have a heartache. 0-1.
Yep.
He went 0-2. Pitch is inside, and the count will be 1-2. Fly ball will go to left center. and it'll be tracked down and caught. Billy Rogers making that play.
We have a pinch hitter.
Ricky Hockett now coming in for the Rebels. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Rebs down by 4. Strike called. Strike called. We're down to 1-2. Ricky Hockett. It's been a little bit of a do-everything guy for the Rebs.
Yeah, normally plays center field.
We've also seen him pitch.
Came in and pitched the other night.
Ball 2, up and away. And that'll do it. Rebs will fall 11-7. They get out hit 11-10. Both teams charged with 3 errors on the scoreboard. But the Rebs cost themselves dearly with a chance with the bases loaded. Unable to get anybody moving anywhere in that situation. And then they cost themselves dearly again in the 7th with 2 balks that led to 2 runs. And that's pretty much what did them in, I think.
Yeah, in the 2nd inning, they had runners at 1st and 2nd with no outs, and were not able to advance them. They got stuck at 1st and 2nd, and like you mentioned, the 5th inning, runners at 1st, the bases full with 1 down, and they ended up having 2 strikeouts to get them out of the inning, the Twins, and so the Newton Rebels weren't able to get anything across there, so that did cost them. The 2 balks really hurt us because the score was pretty close at the time. I think it was 3-3, wasn't it? If I remember right.
Yeah, we were in a dogfight right there. The first one kind of got into David Muto's head, and then the second one just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of ripped his guts out, and then we had a couple of walks, and before you knew what was going on, we were behind, and that was a rough part of the ball game.
Yeah.
So it really truly feels like a ball game that the Rebs kind of gave away today.
Yep, it sure does. Well, don't forget that the Newton Rebels will be in action tomorrow. It is on our schedule. It was showing that we had a day off, but we have a makeup day, rain out. So we'll be going to Hutchinson tomorrow evening, and hopefully we'll bring you that broadcast tomorrow. Game time is scheduled for 7 o'clock, and then Tuesday we'll be at the Eck, baseball at the Eck, with a game at 5 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock.
Right.
Once again, that game on Tuesday will be at 5 p.m. So we're not sure whether we're bringing you that broadcast or not.
Right.
Because we do know that the Sunflower League does carry that on YouTube. So if we're not allowed to do it, then normally I usually do the PA there. So we'll see what happens. Once again, stay tuned for us for tomorrow evening.
And have they announced the opponent for Tuesday yet?
I'm not sure. I thought it was the Grays, but that may be.
That could be. That was supposed to be game 1 of the El Dorado series, but
Right.
El Dorado announced just a couple weeks before the season started that they wouldn't be playing. So probably going to be one of those high school select teams, and then we're planning to see those teams here as well on the schedule. So that's where things stand for now.
Okay. So overall, the Newton Rebels fall to 5-7.
That is correct.
And so we'll see you tomorrow night from Hutchinson as the Newton Rebels will take on the Hudson Monarchs. On behalf of our play-by-play announcer, Chad Fry, this is Frank Martinez. Wish you a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Good night.